Hello people of the internet, I am not an Englishman, this is not the film directing masterclass, and in this episode I will be talking about the film that I'm shooting next month and about all the stuff that I am quite afraid of. Two things before we begin. First, I would like to apologize for all the booms and pocks and schwizzles because it's 5th of November here in the UK and it's getting pretty rough outside. It feels like we're on some kind of a front or something. And the second thing, on this channel I'm creating videos regularly about stuff that I learn about film directing and sharing it with you. So if you think that's useful for you, you can click the subscribe button and you can share it with your friends, family and pretty much any random stranger that you meet. Okay, that's enough self-promotion. Now let's cut to the chase. Is it cut to the chase or cut to the case? I've been working on this film for quite a while, like for almost 2 years now actually, and it's a short film, it's a 10-minute film, but we never somehow seemed to be able to put everything together, actually shoot it. And now the stars seem to have aligned and we're actually shooting it next month. And as much as I'm hyped and buzzing, and I really am, I haven't been this hyped in ages, I'm also quite afraid. There's quite a few things that I'm afraid of, and in this video I want to talk about them and share it with you. But I also want to share my solutions, or at least something that for me at least, I think will help me while on set or after it. We'll see how it goes. So I've sent and applied this film to quite a few funds and competitions, but was never at all successful with it. Which, every time that I got the email back with unfortunately blah blah blah, or didn't receive any emails at all, you don't feel good. Of course you don't feel good because you failed at something. And I was kind of sad because we didn't get any funds, we're not going to be able to make the film at least for a while. But at the same time, somewhere deep, really deep down, there was a part of me kind of, going, oh, okay, that's good, because now you don't have to actually go out and make the film. Which sounds incredibly stupid now that I say it, and it sounds even, it sounds ridiculous, because this is something that I really want to do and it's something that I'm really passionate about. And then all of a sudden there is this fear or this doubt, the fear of, I guess, failing, that okay, you actually don't need to do it and we can just keep postponing it, I can keep doing other stuff and just make up excuses for not to make our film. But now a lot of things that I didn't expect at all have happened. It kind of borders onto miracle, to be honest, and now we're doing it and now I have to do it. And as I said, I'm buzzing and I'm hyped about it, but here's the things that I'm afraid about. Yeah, so this is my first proper film shoot, and I'm afraid that I won't be able to have complete control over the whole production all the time. I mean, I know, that you don't have complete control, but even that I won't be able to have control the whole time. So the shoot only takes 2 days, it's 2 full shooting days, I guess it's gonna be around 12 hours, but still. Most of my cast and crew are older and much more experienced than me. So my fear is that they won't not necessarily respect me, but because I know how much they've done and how good they are, I'll be afraid to really share what I honestly and really think about it, and maybe I'll just go with whatever they have to suggest. And I'm also afraid that at one point, I will just go into another direction and not what I envisioned and not what I wanted. On one hand, I'm really open and I really want people to come up with suggestions, but sometimes, someone will say something and you're so focused on one single detail, and then someone who has a view on a bigger picture just tells you something and it immediately solves everything and you go forward. And I'm kind of afraid of that I'll go with too many of these kind of advices and therefore lose my vision, if that makes sense. It sounds really silly now I'm saying it, but I guess it is kind of a fear. And also at the same time, I don't want to be this, control freak and dictating dickhead on the set, and I still want people to have fun, and I want everyone to chip in their thoughts and what they mean. And I don't know how to hold that balance, how to, keep it all together. So one part of the solution that in the very beginning of the shoot, I will let everyone know that I am the only person on the set who can say action or cut, and until I say cut, we keep rolling regardless to stuff, maybe something going wrong or anything. And also I need to let them know that if they have any ideas, I'm open to them, but for instance, if there's, I don't know, the crew that belongs to the DP, they should share their ideas to the DP, and then he will tell them to me. Because otherwise, all of a sudden, I'll have a set full of people and everyone telling stuff to me. It's gonna just be too much. It's gonna be information overload, and I won't be able, because I don't think anyone is able to cope with, everyone just bursting to you with things. And I think this will save some time and energy. Also, I want to rehearse it a lot, or at least to some, comfortable point where we can all say, okay, we got this thing, nailed, we got the general idea, and then on set, we can just, once we set the cameras, we can just go, and finesse the details. Another thing that might save me out of this, whatever fear it is I have surrounded myself with people that I really trust and especially like working with. I know everyone, and I have known everyone, or mostly everyone, that's gonna be on the shoot for quite a while now. I've worked with every single one of them, and we always seem to enjoy it. So this is kind of one thing that I think will again save tons of energy, tons of time, and just add to the production value. And also, should there be a moment, and I'm pretty sure there's gonna be such a moment, when I'm just gonna stop and go, okay, I have no ideas what the hell is going on. I have complete block. I don't know what to do now. I'm gonna just stop. If that moments happen, I'm very, very comfortable with going to any one of these friends and just tell them, look, I came to the block. Can you help me out? I mean, you have any ideas or how? And we'll go, from then on. Although there's one thing that I've just watched a documentary of Spielberg on HBO. It's a really good documentary. You should watch it, even if you don't like Spielberg. And he said that one of the best advice he ever got as a director was that whenever you're on set, you need to be in charge. Even if you come to the point where you have absolutely no ideas of what to do, never ever show it to anyone. The most important thing is just for you to appear like you know what's going on there. Yeah, one thing that I'm afraid of is also that the film will go in a completely another direction as I have envisioned it. I mean, I'm well aware of the fact that whenever you shoot a film, you come on set and you have your script and you have the vision, a very clear vision of what you want it to look like, but then once you start shooting, because there's so many factors, it always, every single time, goes to another direction. And I'm okay with that. I'm actually very looking forward to that, because I don't know what else, can grow out of, what I wrote on paper. But I'm really afraid that, I don't know, one actor will have this suggestion and another actor will have this suggestion, and maybe DOP will think that this looks better and will go for it, and I'll just keep going for it. And then I'll see the shot that looks really cool, but then once we'll come to post-production and editing, and we'll realize that, yeah, it does look cool, but it doesn't fit the overall story completely, and it doesn't fit the whole, how it looks like, and so I'll just realize that, okay, I completely screwed it on the set, because, I thought it's gonna work and now it doesn't. Yeah, so these are basically small pieces of paper, and each scene has its own paper, and on the paper you just write either the number or the name of the scene, and then the vision, so how you envision this scene, how you want it to look like, and most importantly, what the goal of the scene or the main theme of the scene is. So even if you get to the point where you get stuck and like, okay, what do I want out of this scene? You take a look and there's either one or two words that tell you the theme of it, and you can then go from that point on. So you don't get stuck, and you can always go back to the point where you were in pre-production and having a very clear vision about that scene. Does this make any sense? I think I'm just overcomplicating stuff. So I've written this script quite a while ago, as I said, and I showed it to quite a few friends that I really trust and they know their way around films and scripts. So I've rewritten it and rewritten it quite a couple of times until it became something that I wasn't completely ashamed of showing to the outer world. So when it comes to script, I'm pretty confident about it. I'm confident about the story and the plot, and also, you know, I showed it to a lot of people, and mainly everyone who is on board with the film is there just because they really love the story and they really want to do it. But anyway, I'm afraid that once we shoot everything and once we edit everything, the end product will just realize that it's just rubbish. Because we were all just so deeply, you know, dug inside it. Or maybe just the whole idea just turned out that this really doesn't work, you know, it just sucks. I'm not really sure whether there's a solution to this problem or not, because, you know, if a film sucks, it just sucks. Sometimes you have a great director and you have great actors and it just kind of turns out not to be a good film. But what I've done, so the factors that I could influence that I've surrounded myself, as I said, with people whom I trust, and especially with people who I think really fit the role that they are in, to my opinion anyway. If it still turns out that the film just sucks in the end, I am just willing to go with it. As strange and stupid as this sounds, but I know that pretty much everyone, you know, when they started out, regardless to how big and successful they are now, sucked in the beginning. I mean, I don't think there was any single person that the very first film they did was a huge boom. If there were, good for them. You know, I'm not expecting it to be a one-hit wonder at all. And I think that if it turns out that it sucks, I'll kind of be glad that I did it, because I did spend money and I did spend time on it, but at least I started doing something bad, so that now I can finally learn on my mistakes and become better at it. And now that I said everything out loud, I realize how ridiculous everything really sounds. But my guess is that, you know, if I have a certain fear of something, there is at least one person out there who either has this fear or had it, or maybe at one point will have it, and maybe there's a small solution offered in this video, hopefully. And if you have any experience whatsoever in filmmaking and you have been at the point where you were afraid about something and then managed to overcome that fear, either, you know, before going on set, or even if it's post-production or pre-production or anything, please do share it in the comments. And yeah, tell us about the fears and tell us how you overcame it. And maybe you also had the same fears as I'm having right now, and you had different solutions that actually worked, because I'll tell you if those worked or not after we wrap up. And also please share that as well. Thank you for watching. If you think this video wasn't completely useless and complete rubbish, you can click the like button at the bottom, and there's a small red button that says subscribe on it, and if you click it, magic stuff starts happening. Unless you're already subscribed, because if you are subscribed, then really bad stuff starts happening, like, you know, kittens get killed and little fluffy bunny rabbits, and you know, it's crazy stuff. Don't go play with it. If you're already subscribed, just leave it. You're making the world a better place. That's it. I mean, even I'm making my film finally, so what's your excuse?